Hello, I'm your host, Marcus Moore, and this is Alaska Rants, where unsophisticated, uneducated guys get together and have a conversation. Today, we're going to take it a little easy and have some fun. We're going to talk about 4th of July coming up. It's the 2nd of July today, and this is just the beginning of our 4th of July weekend events here in Alaska. We have a lot of fun upcoming camping activities. If you're able to afford to get out of town during the week, great for you. But if you're like the rest of us that have to work, got to stay in town, there's still fun activities for you to enjoy. Today, my co-host, JP, Silky and Smooth, my brother. How you doing?
Straight, my guy.
We had a little week off. We had some stuff come up we had to take care of in our real life.
Yes, we did.
And now we're back at it. And, just thought we'd have some fun and talk about 4th of July, baby, Independence Day.
Back in the cockpit. Let's do it.
Freedom-loving Americans everywhere are going to be blowing shit up.
I mean, shoot, I've seen videos of whole neighborhoods just
yes.
destroyed. It's crazy how people just go out,
just blow shit up in town.
blow shit up. Well, they go out in their street and just start launching fireworks, and then they leave it there the next day for the city to clean up.
Have you? I've seen that. I've been over like certain parts of Muldoon and shit, right? And you're like driving and just fireworks everywhere.
I think it's funny, but it's like, really?
Yeah, really.
Really?
You can't shoot them off anyways. They come give you I think it's like a $300 or
They give you some
ticket.
type of fine, and that's just the city doing the city thing, cops doing the cop thing.
Gotta make a profit, bro.
They have to make a profit. I'm not gonna hold you. Just this last week, the week I was off, I've never seen so many cops on the highway, multiple times, pullover versus pullover versus pullover, and I realized I was like, oh, that makes sense. It's towards the end of the month. They actually have to meet a certain quarterly quota after, or it's usually in the beginning or the ending of the month if they don't make it.
They should put a news announcement out.
Yeah, but it was
We're
like
hitting quota, baby. This is quota week, guys. Better all watch your ass, bro.
I saw multiple times. I'm like,
We giving tickets, not warnings.
I was counting them, bro. Like at least 5 on the highway all the way out to Palmer. I'm like, bro, this is crazy. And then another 5 on the way back.
What day did you go out and do that?
This was, I think, I want to say on a Tuesday or Wednesday of last week.
Last week, we went out to Wasilla yesterday, and we saw a dude pull over on the way out there. We were out there for maybe 30 minutes, came back downtown. That same cop, other side of the road, had another dude pull over.
Yeah. So I saw it too. I'm like, bro, these dudes is not playing around. And I was like, why are they just out all of a sudden?
I think 4th of July coming up.
Yeah,
right?
but and then 4th of July is about to come up, and I realize it's going to probably be the same exact thing because you do have.
And you're showing everybody right now that you already are starting.
Yeah.
Right? So when the 4th does hit, people already know, like, oh, man, last 2 days, they've been pulling over everybody.
The intimidation factor right there.
Right? Facts.
I like it. It's just like, I kind of look at it kind of as like New Year's, where everybody's drunk prior, and then they wait until that thing comes off, and in about, 2 or 3 o'clock here in Alaska, cops is waiting.
Oh, yeah.
As you get in that car.
It kind of blows my mind. 2024, people still be drinking and driving, bro. Like,
sad.
It is sad. We all know. There's no mystery behind it, Buzz driving is drunk driving. And, we all heard that shit. And every weekend we hear about someone, hit this dude drunk, right? Killed this dude drunk, right? All these people that have been hit on the sidewalks, right? We've had a bunch this year.
It's like people don't learn their lesson the first time, and that's why we have all these courses. That's why we have all these, random tests, or DMV needs to upgrade their policy on getting a license. And it just basically, one person can ruin it for the younger generation coming up to try to get a license. One drunk motorist can mess up somebody else's life or end it, and that's just.
And it's not even you hurt. You didn't just take out like that dude, right? Like you just messed up an entire family's day, week, month, year,
everything,
right? Like you just threw a wrench into their whole life,
and then now
because you wanted to get drunk and drive,
and then now you have somebody that's going for a license, and then they're gonna have a random question on there saying like, "Why do we not drink and drive?" It's just because Yosa, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Decides to do something stupid, but that's just people. And you really can't stop people's nature, I would say. I mean, everybody has a choice. And
I feel like you could. I feel like
I do too. But it's just
When
choice.
we used to work on the slope. I used to work on the slope, and we had to do these safety meetings, right? And they didn't hold anything back. They would show you the videos of these dudes straight up dying on the job, caught on camera, right? They would straight up show you what happens when you wear a glove when you're operating a handheld drill or a drill press, right? Or any type, like, dude's gloves will just get pinched, right? And the next thing you know, their whole hand went in, and then they pull it out, and it's just spaghetti. You know, like stuff like that, right? I've seen dudes, get their sleeves caught in it, and it just rips all of their skin out, or get sucked up and rolled into machines because they were not wearing the proper type of clothing, right? And I'll tell you what, when you watch those videos, and then you go to operate that machine, you instantly can't even turn it on with how flashback into like, oh, I need to take my coat off.
Yeah,
I've seen what happens when you wear a coat. Oh, I'm gonna start putting my hand in here to drill out some metal, right? Oh, I should take my gloves off because I've seen what happens when that, I mess up and that drill catches the corner of a glove, bro. Like, it's so quick you can't even react. It's just done. Right? I feel like if you did the same thing with drunk driving and we caught these dudes on film, right? And then you showed the aftermath, right? Like them in the emergency room, right? Just blood, that graphic shit. I feel like that would resonate. I don't know. Maybe not, but I feel like that would. I feel like that would just like make you think before getting behind a car.
To me, since I hold a CDL, we're kind of held to a higher standard.
You can't ever get caught.
We can't ever get caught. And if we do get caught,
with
that's
anything, 0.00001,
just
bam, lose your life.
just even the thought.
Yeah, you're
just
like,
even
oh,
the thought
yeah.
is our ass, know.
Yes.
And I've never drank before, never have, don't ever plan on it because the amount of stuff I've seen, even in a semi, with drunk drivers, and
that's what really irritates me.
It's scary.
Drunk driving semis.
It's scary, and I've seen it. It's scary, and it's not something that I don't ever want to even be a part of. But I'm in the trucking community, so it's like I have to go to those meetings. I have to sit down at those orientation videos or something of that nature. Just because one guy did it messes up for everybody else that needs to get hired on for a spot.
I mean, your job's already dangerous
enough
because at any given time you make a little mistake, bro, you could kill somebody in a semi.
Oh, without a doubt.
And you wouldn't even know it. You make a turn too quick or flip your trailer up going too fast, right? Whatever that does is pretty much whoever hits you is dead.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not really surviving many semi accidents unscathed, except for maybe the driver of the semi.
I'll say this for people that should understand: if you guys hit us, we just get a scratch. If we hit you guys, y'all are getting totaled.
Yeah,
pretty much.
This is an important 4th of July topic here because you don't need to drink and drive, man. We all want to go home to our families. We all want to have a safe, fun weekend, and be respectful out there, and just take someone's keys, man. Don't be afraid to be that asshole, man, because at the end of the day, when they sober up, man, they can just, be mad or thank you or whatever, bro. But at least you saved a life, possibly, right? So, speaking of out of town, Seward, bro, you ever been down to Mayor's Marathon?
I have not, actually.
Never went down and checked that out?
Bro, I'm a type of guy that just doesn't like to put his nose into certain things. I see it all the time. I see stuff that goes on in Alaska.
You're just not a social butterfly?
I'm under a rock, and honestly, I like it, but at the same time, it's like not my type of venue, I would say. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll go out and watch fireworks. I'll go out and socialize, but like going to stuff like out of town or stuff like I would like to go do it. It's just never really have the time, or just don't see much of I can't say a point, but more or less like what am I gonna go do there for? Is it gonna benefit me, or is it gonna like you told me, is it gonna bring me value?
Said, it's sort of a camping in Alaska is sort of a class privilege.
Pretty much.
It's not cheap, and our politicians don't help out that much. So if you're not constantly, getting a second or a third job here, bro, like where are you gonna have the time to go out camping? And it kind of sucks, and then you're like stuck into Anchorage, which is sort of like, I feel like they want you to do. They want you in the valley. They want you to stay in the valley. You know, they want you in Eagle River. They want you to stay in Eagle River, right? They don't want to mix us around. And it's just kind of a weird situation that we're living in right now with the whole crazy world we're in. And I don't know. I think it's at least something that you should go try out once, you know?
For sure.
Not even to run it. That's insane. I would never run it. I've never ran it. I never will run it because it looks dangerous as hell. You know, how many...
What's up, Alaska? Sorry for the interruption. It's your producer, Mr. Aiden McKinnon. And I just wanted to interrupt the show just to thank you guys for all the support we've been getting. We've been operational approaching 20 days now, and we have about 1,800 followers across all platforms. And me and the team just want to give a huge shout out to you followers. Thank you so much for your support, and we will continue to do what we do. Please like, share, and follow. All right, back to it.
I think maybe up to like 10 people have died on that already. I know at least 2 or 3 have.
News to me, brother.
You never heard that?
Like I said,
when I was younger, a kid fell off of the mountain, like an 11-year-old, bro. Fell down like 300-400 feet.
Gone.
No, he didn't die. He
survived.
Yeah, he survived. It's kind of actually a really sad story because he like survived. Like his head was like all brain damage and stuff, right? He actually survived. Bunch of blood transfusions, right? Got better. And then like 6 months later, diagnosed leukemia, died 6 months later after that. Like, just tragic.
You know, stuff like that like resonates with a lot of people because people don't understand. Like, you get into, as we were talking about, like the drunk driving and stuff like that. You know, people don't understand. Like, you get into an injury, it's just it happens so fast, and then the recovery process of something like that is the worst because the bills pile up. The trauma sets in for not just yourself but your family, and they're every day they're stressing out going to work that their family member is not gonna make it or may not make it, and then they're worried about, you know, it's just a ripple effect of bad going on because then, you know, you like you just said, the kid, he survived and now he's dead. But, off of a run.
But then you got guys that have ran it for 30 years now straight,
and then they're fine with it.
Never had a problem.
Never had a problem.
I mean, but that's a really dangerous run. You know, it's fun. It's cool to go see, but definitely almost as dangerous as that cheese roll hill. Have you ever seen that shit? That's crazy. They throw this cheese roll down a hill, and these dudes just like tumble.
They run.
No, they don't even. They run, but they're
tumbling.
like tumbling head over, like flips. Dude, just hitting the ground. Boom,
I never
flip.
understood that. I think it's you win a prize or something. I think it's money or
Just, no, not even a prize. Just a title.
A title.
Title of the fastest man to catch.
See, that's what I'm trying to say. Is why would I go out and do that?
Why would I?
There's no money.
But
there's no.
But watching that shit
It's funny as
live,
hell.
okay, watching these dudes live, right? Watching these dudes run down the hill, you know, at Mayor's Marathon. It's just like, man, these people got big balls, you know, just crazy. Then you have the opposite side of Alaska, out in Glacier View, which is near Hatcher's Pass, past the Wasilla, where they have the car launch. Completely opposite. They don't throw, you know, people don't just run down. They take cars and they launch them off a mountain. You never seen that?
Seen videos. Like I said,
Yeah.
I bro, I'm under a rock, and don't get me wrong, I like it, but I need to get out and really go just watch this, because for me, I look at what's the point of doing stuff like this? Is this a celebration, or is it you know, is it like
Independence Day celebration, baby?
There you go.
If we're not gonna blow shit up, dog, we're tossing shit off a mountain. Okay. If we're not tossing shit off a mountain, we're running down a mountain. If we're not running down a mountain, we're playing baseball at McCady Stadium, bro.
Yeah.
So if we're not doing some crazy activities up here, if you're not blowing shit up, you're not starting fires, you're not out camping, okay, then you can come into Anchorage. You can have a chill 4th of July. You come in, they got that pancake breakfast at 9 down at Denali Park Strip. Go down and get some free pancakes, hang out with some dudes, celebrate independence. Then they have the parade. The parade comes through town. It's not like a parade. It's more like a really cool car show, you know, because they got all like those old classic cars. A lot of those older baby boomers are coming in.
in the summertime.
You know, at which point that ends at like 11. Oh yeah, watch that out. That's crazy.
Oh, so that's what they do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They just throw that car right off of the edge, dude.
And
Yes.
this is a
Look
lot.
how many people are there, bro.
Wow.
Yes.
So they out there. They really
There's-
out there just camping, and then that day comes, they lit.
I got a boy out there right now that's with a film crew, and they're putting up cameras right now to film it live. Oh. And you can watch it pay-per-view live.
Do they do?
I think it's like $20.
This
I'll
is
send you
how-
the link after this.
Is
I'll
it-
put the link on our video too.
Is this out in, you said Seward?
No, this is out at Glacier View.
Oh,
Glacier View Park, and that's just a tiny bit north. It's like a 2-hour drive from here.
Copy.
It's like right outside of Wasilla, right between Willowish. You know,
It's funny. Every time I head out to Palmer, I feel like I'm like in the Wasilla area.
you are.
Yeah, they call it Palmer Wasilla.
It's gonna be like the Twin Cities.
there you go.
You know,
Yeah.
Minneapolis, St. Paul, baby. You know what I mean?
Same spot.
Wasilla, Palmer. You know,
Same spot. But I just look. Every time I'm like, I watch like the drag strip races or whatever.
yeah.
And I try to look for that mountain that they're staring at, and I'm like, which mountain is it?
you can only catch that if you're coming back into town because the park strip is like north to south.
North or south? Yeah.
North to south. They race like starting north and then the drag strip goes south. So if you're coming back on the highway, you can sort of see
it.
that little left side of the mountain.
Sweet.
But
No, 4th of July is about to be fun. I mean, even in the city.
I mean, it might be raining, it might be cold, but I think Alaskans are used to that shit, dude. And we just go out and just something to get out and enjoy stuff.
bro, rain or shine, they're still gonna be lighting it off.
Oh fuck yeah, we are, dude.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I think this year I wanted to like go up to like maybe Flat Top or somewhere high where you can see the city view and just watch fireworks pop off, bro.
Stuckagon Heights. You ever been up Stuckagon Heights?
I have not.
Stuckagon Heights is off Baxter.
Okay.
You know where Baxter is? And,
Yes.
if you instead of taking a left off of Tudor, you take a right. That's Stuckagon Heights.
Okay.
And if you've never been up that road, that's a drive. I drive that road just for fun because it just the instant you get on that road, you feel like you're out of town.
10-4.
You know, you feel like you're not in Anchorage anymore, right? Then you go up to the very tippy top, and man, probably some of the best views in town, hands down, because you can see all of Base. You can see all of Southside. I mean, just every bit of Anchorage, like you're on top of Flat Top. Whereas when you're on Southside and you go up on Hillside, you only really catch the airport over towards the left.
You actually catch, even on Flat Top, you catch the whole bowl of Anchorage.
Because you're higher.
Yeah,
than
because you're
everything
higher
else.
than everything.
Yeah.
You're basically at height. I'd say airplane level. Even the airplane's a little higher, but bro,
A
it's
lot
it's
higher.
high. It's high. Like
I think it's only like 1,100 feet.
we then that whole day, the whole
1,000 feet.
the whole week off, I was off. That's what we went and did too. We went to Flat Top, and I was just looking up, and I just realized I said, "Bro, we're about damn near cruising level of these airplanes up here, and it's kind of cool just to see it." But even just to see the whole bowl of Anchorage, it's still. People are like, "Oh, you've been here forever." I mean, bro, it's still a sight to see.
It's really cool during the winter,
Oh, of course.
you know, because we're a city of lights, and there's not many dark spots. When you go up on the hill, you can almost read out every road
Still,
still, because they're all lit
they're
up.
all lit up. It's like little mini runways.
Then you got that dark part of town. You're like,
We know what goes on there. Marcus Moore lives right there.
and I do not live right there. Get out of here, bro. I'm the
No, 4th of July, it's gonna be pretty.
My
up.
neighborhood is so bright. It's crazy.
Did I ever tell you your neighborhood? Every time I drive in your neighborhood, bro, I feel like I'm like in enchantment. Like it's like you're going in, it's just dead silence. You don't hear nothing. It's just
I
like,
live in a really peaceful
bro, I
neighborhood.
feel like it's like a level of like Call of Duty. Like you go in there, you're driving, it's just peaceful.
It's all
and
war
then,
zone, and then
all of a sudden
bam.
war zone out of nowhere. But like for this one, it's kind of the opposite. There's no war going on.
I feel like that's anywhere in town. It's like left side of the street, all good. Cross the street,
Different.
watch yourself.
But I ain't gonna lie, it's like come in here. I'm like, bro, what? Where am I?
And it's only now, and it's only probably been in the last 5 years.
really.
I would say I was never had that mindset prior to that. My whole life living up here, man, it's just been chill. Shit happens, you know what I mean? But it's never been like you see the crime everywhere. You know, you might hear about it, but you never see it. Now you just see it every day, everywhere you go.
You're right. It's just, I think I would agree about the last 4 or 5 years too.
Right, you only heard
I
about
only
it,
ever heard about it. Then
but
now,
now you see it.
I see it, and it's like, that's what y'all was talking about, or that's what y'all about to talk about the next day. And it's like, I hear it. I'm like, bro, I was there, just never on camera.
And I think that just comes down to our political leaders and our people in power, right, not having an understanding of the problems. And every time they have to come up with a solution for something, they send out the brain trust team to an out-of-state firm in an out-of-state city with out-of-state people that have never been to Alaska and don't understand Alaska, don't understand Anchorage. And then they're like, go ahead, this plan worked in this county in West Virginia. It will totally work for you. And then our assembly gets it back and they're like, oh, hey, man, we have this great plan. We're going to go ahead and, no, you didn't come up with that plan. You don't have any idea. You're just disconnected.
Bruh. That's what I feel.
Out of state money now? Like, I feel like that's right.
It's the disconnect here is wild, but I'm glad that what we're doing in Alaska Rants, or as us as Alaska Rants, what we talk about is bringing that connect back. We're bridging the gap. We're literally bringing it back to where it's like, here, y'all need to be alert. We need to be on top of our game. Y'all need to track and legitimately know, like, this is what goes on in Alaska, and it's not just here; it's everywhere else. And shoot, even the last topic we talked about the cops with the body cams. Just the other day, got pulled over, no ticket, but the first thing I looked at was that dude's body cam. I looked.
Did he have it on?
He had it on. And I was like, well, ain't that about something? I was like, where does this remind me of? Oh, Alaska Rants, because we had a whole full-blown conversation about it. Stuff like that, bridging the gap.
54 days now still. Just want to pull that out.
Oh, really?
Christopher Handy. Is that correct, Aiden? Yes, sir. Christopher Handy. I'm really bad with names. I'm trying to remember this. I got thousands of names that go through my head every day, right? But I feel like this is a really important thing that we need to keep up and talk about is the fact that we're 53 days now and nothing's been done, nothing's been said, nothing's been handled. Everybody deflects. You know, if you do try to speak up, right, you got a whole nother can of worms, you know. And I just hope we can all make it through this week, you know, because it seems like we always get the crazy shit happening during our holiday weekends. And I hope we can just get through this weekend, you know, happy, fun, loving neighbors, right? Americans, and just celebrate what we're all, you know, here for and what we are fighting for.
It's Alaska. And we, like I said, I think you said it before, we're kind of our own country up here. And so we kind of do whatever the hell we want. But at the same time, we kind of legalize our own type of things.
Well, I mean, that's where the disconnect is. I think you have 70% of the population that feels just like you and me, where, man, we're going to do what we want. Go ahead, regulate us to death, put all these, you know, amendments in place, you know, create these so-called laws, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, we're Alaskans, and like I think that we're just tired of, you know, not seeing anybody do anything for us, right? And I get it, right? But we can't give up, right? And I feel like that's what we're doing. I feel like 70% of us are giving up, and we're not fighting back for our rights. It's not a privilege to vote. Okay, that's your power. Okay, that's what the founding fathers gave us to correct mishaps. Right, when we start derailing off the tracks a little bit, they gave us the power to vote these people out of office, to vote other people out of office, to vote against regulations and rules or propositions or ballot measures. Right, they can ask you to. They could put in a ballot measure today if they got enough stickers saying that, all right, we're going to start enslaving everybody under $70,000. Not even color race. They're going to a status race. Okay, so if you don't make $70,000 or more a year, okay, that's fine. we're not going to hold that against you guys, but you guys can't own anything. We're going to give you guys housing. We're going to give you guys food. We'll make sure that you can get transportation back and forth to whatever job you're doing, so that way you can still produce for us, right? But you can't come play with us on Hillside. You can't come play with us in Potter's Marsh, right? You're never going to be able to own any property in town because we own it all, right? And that's what they're doing, you know? I would be surprised if the majority of rented houses in town were not owned by a corporation that were just buying these single family homes out for the sole purpose of just renting them.
Question, and I might don't want to look dumb or nothing. What is Airbnb owned by somebody, or is it
Okay, Airbnb is
it's a corporation?
No,
or-
it's an app.
It's an app. I know.
Yeah.
I understand that, but
That
what
app
is?
doesn't own anything.
Okay.
It's just a third party connection
Yeah.
to people. So a homeowner has a home that they want to rent out, right? These people are looking for places to stay that aren't hotels.
Yeah.
Airbnb brings them both together.
Copy.
So you pay for the Airbnb app, but when you purchase a property from somebody, a
Alerts
small
the-
portion of those transactions go back to Airbnb.
10-4.
Or if you're listing on Airbnb, they might charge you a fee.
Copy. Because we were just talking about the whole ownership of things, and I thought that was controlled by, you know what I mean. But
But I don't feel like as a. I mean, I guess, you know, we are capitalists. You're free to start and do whatever you want. But I feel like it's a really negative when you get corporations that own 13. Like if you own a condominium, I feel like that's a different avenue than if you owned a house, right? If you own 1,000 houses in cul-de-sacs and you only rented them out, well, now you just took 1,000 families that could have purchased their own home, forever home, off the market forever.
because you rented.
And the amount of land that those 1,000 houses take up. Okay? So you just screwed out an entire half a generation of people in that community, right? That's how I feel about it. And then I feel like if you want to own an apartment building or, you know, like a 50, 60 duplex, you know, number duplex where you got like 50, 60 or 30 of them, right? That are like and when I say duplex, I'm talking like two sides, 5 apartments in each, 10 apiece, right? Like a multi-dwelling, complex, right? I feel like that could be owned by a corporation, right? Because now you're housing the same amount of families, you know, but you're not taking up 30 square miles of land to do it, you know? And I feel like that's where we're at. I feel like they just want to take everybody's homes away. So if they take the ability for anybody to even purchase a single family home, then you can control the population, right? And you can force them down a direction where you're never going to buy a home. You're never going to be able to afford anything. And I feel like that's what they're trying to do. You know, I may be completely wrong, but I kind of feel that way.
But in the meantime, we got to go celebrate 4th of July. So
Facts.
everybody has it. Everybody has a little bit of their own freedom back. I guess
We're not even celebrating that. We're just telling the fact that we got our freedom.
Yeah,
Bro.
Let me ask this.
The Emancipation Proclamation, baby.
What would happen if so we've all seen the movie The Purge, right? What would happen if that was up here? If that was brought up on, like, say, the 4th of July, you know, since it's kind of they say it's an American thing, right? They're just doing it to get rid of certain populations, yada, yada, yada. 'Cause I really want to go binge watch that again just to try to understand it. But imagine that being brought to the city of Alaska. Or
we could do this national. We could do this national topic right now. They just announced today, yesterday, in the last like 24, 48 hours, they announced that the SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States of America, I think it was like a 6-3 ruling, stated that Trump has immunity powers for actions of the president, right? So any official act that the president does as the president, he has immunity to. He can't be charged crimes. If he does an unofficial act as president, he can be charged with criminal crimes. So all of his court cases are getting dropped right now. in New York, or well, not all of them. They're all being suspended or somehow like affected. Huge win, because every president, you can't have a president looking over his shoulder trying to figure out whether or not he's going to get charged with shit, right? That's why we put him in office, because he's in power, and he can do whatever, right? The scary thing is the Democrats came out yesterday and basically said, well, Joe Biden should just have an official act to send SEAL Team 6 in to go take out Trump because he has immunity. Right? They literally just want to, do the same thing. That's like purge level at the highest levels.
Really? That's news to me, brother. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised for those hidden files to come out, like the whole JFK assassination coming out when SEAL Team 6 goes in there and starts raiding the stuff. Or
I mean, you already have FBI already went in there and claimed that they staged. So you remember when the FBI went into Mar-a-Lago and raided Trump's house?
Yeah.
Right. They just announced like a couple weeks ago that they staged like all the evidence inside. They brought paperwork with them. They brought boxes with them, dude, to stage those photos. And they just announced this. They said that they staged those photos, bro. They made it up.
What's the mindset behind doing all
That's
that?
the FBI. That's our Federal Bureau of Investigation.
So it's just okay to just
make up fake shit and charge people for fake crimes.
I didn't. Where's the integrity? Where's the moral? Where's the whole this code of conduct that you're living by?
Accountability.
The accountability. Like, you're doing this to hurt others, but you're here to protect.
Oh, they're not here to hurt others. They're here to hurt us.
Or correction, yeah, to hurt us,
Americans.
But you're also here to serve to protect. So what's the point of doing all that if you're not doing your job?
Well, to them, they are doing their job. They're building a country, a communist country, which they want, where you will own nothing and eat the bugs and be happy.
So let me ask this: so all the conspiracy theories and all this
are just 6-month spoiler alerts.
Wow. Because I don't get me wrong, this whole has been being brought up a lot lately about this.
Facts. I mean, I say that because I've been preaching this shit for like 10 years now.
Yeah,
I've been down the rabbit hole.
Been in my ear about it,
and everybody's just like, but then this shit comes true. Well, at what point do I become a prophet?
When your title is Marcus Moore.
When Marcus knows more? No, motherfucker. I just pay attention to the shit. I don't have to follow it and be an expert on it. I just gotta know this shit's happening. Because if you don't understand and pay attention, then how are you gonna protect yourself against attacks? Right? That's why you're asking me about why certain individuals do things. Right? Why do we need certain individuals to stand up? Well, it takes one person to make a movement. It makes one person to stand up to tell 2, to tell 3, to tell 5, to tell 10, to tell 1,000, right? Until you make a movement, until you make actionable contributions to protect our freedoms, right? If you don't, I think it was like Ben Franklin or somebody, one of our founding fathers. I'm not a sophisticated, knowledgeable, graduate student, that remembers all these stuff. But one of our famous people in history for Americans said that if you don't fight for your rights every generation, you'll lose them, right? They'll take little rights from you every year, every generation, every 4 years. They'll come take a little more rights until they have absolute power, right? Because power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. I know you've heard that before, and I feel like that's why we have to celebrate 4th of July. I feel like that's why we need to stand up and unite and talk about this stuff in the community, right? I feel like that's why we need to go out, because how many people in Anchorage are going to go out and celebrate this stuff but not have voting on the mind, this on the mind? And when we have the ability to go out and talk to somebody and say, hey, man, did you vote? And you're like, no. I'm like, well, why not? Well, I don't feel like my vote matters, right? I don't feel like I care, right? I'm pretty comfortable in my life. I don't think anything really affects me, right? Well, do you like paying for groceries? What are you paying a month? $400 a month? What was that 4 years ago? 180?
2 cents.
You know what I mean? What was gas 4 years ago? $1.65 up here? What is it now? Almost $5? Right? So what changed? Oh, well, what changed is that 13% of our population appears voting for all these property taxes increase and a sales tax. And we have people in power that are just putting in carbon capturing plants for estate tax, right? They just want to take all the money. The problem with taking everybody's money, like socialism, is that eventually the people that are taking your money run out of money because these people that they're taking money for have no more money. When the people run out of money, okay, your whole party just died. You know what I mean? You're on the party bus and you're just living it up, doing the fun shit, staying under your rock, okay? Because you're having fun, okay? Eventually, all of us people that are working every day, that are understanding shit every day, they're out fighting for shit every day, just say, all right, fuck it, have fun. I'm moving out of the state. And then now you're going to be trapped here. You're not going to have anybody that's silent that's going to stand up for you guys because we all tried to fight and no one wanted to stand up and fight with us. You know? So, if, you know, it takes people like you to change your mind and wake up and to talk to other people. And that's what, that's why we're starting this, is that I wake one person up. You wake two people up. They wake four people up, 5, 10, 1,000. We only have to reach 50,000 people. In this small ass city, we already know 50,000 people. It's how do you change their mindset to go vote? Because none of them do. And I feel like that's where we're at.
Takes time.
It does take time.
We don't have much of it if
we're looking at 3 months. Yeah. 3 months of outreach, talking, programming, messaging, right? And the problem with the generation or the age group between 18 and 27 is most of the time, when you're 18 to 25, 24, you don't really care, right? The benefit, though, is that like back in our day, my day, we didn't have all the news, so like you just worked, right? Like you didn't get affected because everybody's making money. Everything was good. You could still afford a house, right? Interest rates were 1.3%, 3%. We understood what interest rates were because we actually had a real education, right? You know what I mean? And then everybody after us was like, what happened? You guys never got taught finance. You guys never got taught any type of, structure or organization skills or time management or critical thinking or creative writing or creative thinking. None of that was taught. And so now I'm here looking at like, what the fuck, bro? How do we message and talk to people about stuff that don't even understand the basics? I can't talk to you about the attacks that are happening on our freedoms right now when you don't even understand that our freedoms are under attack because you don't understand the system, right? So it's like, and you can't be a dick about it. We gotta be polite about it. I can't be like, dude, you dumb motherfucker, because it's not your fault. It's not anybody's fault. You just don't know what you don't know.
Do you think that having like celebrations like 4th of July, Labor Day, and all this stuff is like, they think, oh, that might be like our little glimpse of freedom? Do you think stuff like that is aware to people? Like, don't get me wrong, that's like days off or whatever from work or this and that. But do you think like, oh, we have 4th of July, it represents our freedom. Oh, we have Labor Day.
I can't.
A little bit of freedom there. Oh, certain holidays, I would say, there you go, better word, holidays.
I would say that if you were an actual American, real American, and were prideful of where you were at, okay, you know this shit, you're celebrating it. If you're not proud to be an American and you hate this country and you're not happy to live in this country for the freedoms it gives you, I feel like then you would have that kind of mindset. Damn near, traitorous, communist, right? Because if you're ignorant of a solution, doesn't mean that, or ignorant of a problem doesn't mean that the problem doesn't exist or can't, go on without you, right? If you're ignorant to the solution, or if you know about the solution and you choose not to, participate in that activity or what because of certain choices and it's deliberate, then at that point, I think you were a traitor to this country, dog. You know, I feel like you have to have pride in where you're from, or you don't have pride in anything at all. You know, it's sort of like if you don't stand for anything, you sit for nothing. And if you sit for nothing, then you agree with whoever tells you what to do.
Copy.
In my opinion, you know, I feel like that's for each man to make his own opinion on, right? And I think it's good either way. You know, I think that's the beauty of our country is that if you want to, you know, do whatever and not support it, that's cool. But at the end of the day, I don't ever want to hear you bitch about shit. You know, I don't ever want to hear you say, oh, I'm not making enough money, or my boss is making me work long, or, you know what I mean? Because you have solutions, you have ways to change everything in your life, you know, but it takes you to do that and know that the only reason that you can do that is because you're an American. So you don't have these rights everywhere else. You know, you're almost dictated from birth what you're going to do. Like Russia, like you already know you're going into the military when you're 18 if you're a man. You don't have a choice, bro. You have to serve. So while you're serving, who knows what happens, right? After you're done, then you basically get your little housing coupon, right? You get your little food coupon, and then you just live the rest of the life. You can try to do more stuff, but you're living in a communist country. You're not really working. You're doing your, you know, your basic minimum just to get your food card and your housing card, right? And then everything after that is just on you. Survive the day. You know, China's the same way. You work 18 hours a day, no days off, produce, right? And then what do you have? All these dudes, they have suicide cops now. Did you know that in China? They had so many people jumping out of buildings and committing suicide that they literally have cops that patrol like the windows and stuff to catch jumpers from getting off so they can put them back to work.
That's wild.
Right? That's communist countries, bro. North Korea. Right? Communist country.
In our
Right?
day and age, huh?
Okay. And what are they? That's what half the country wants. Well, they're saying half the country, you know, they're saying half of America wants this, right? I would say that 20 to 30% and 95% of our elected leaders want a communist country in Alaska. They just hide it. They don't come out and say this, right?
Yeah, because they don't want that.
They
don't
just
wanna-
put little blurps in here, a little blurp in this bill, right? A little thing in here that just takes little corners of our freedoms away, right? They just take a little corner, take a little corner, take a little corner, and then tell you don't have a hand, right? And then when you have no hands, you can't fight back.
I think it's because they want to keep that power that they're in, so they can still every time take that little piece of corner everywhere, every time.
But again, the problem with taking other people's money is eventually you're going to run out of money to take.
That is true. The more you take, the more people want to get greedy.
That is a fact. Well, you have a good conversation today? You learn anything new?
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like you learn everything new every time we have a conversation.
Damn right I do, bro.
Amen.
I'm like, I get mind blown every time. It's like, plus Marcus knows more, but that's just the homie informing another homie, and I appreciate the news, like up to date, you know, stuff to keep me woke.
Well, I mean, I want to see you grow. I want other people that are watching us to see you grow, and you know, just show what basically be the poster child for what asking one question can do.
You know, they can see us on Alaska Rants on all platforms, right?
Yeah, yes, they can. But I'm just saying, as we go and continue on, right? They can see your level grow. They can see your sophistication grow. They can see your education grow just by asking a question. It all takes one day. Ask a question.
And we'll
Go find the answer. You know, I ask you a question. Go find the answer. You ask me a question. All right, I'm gonna go find the answer.
Or you probably already have the answer.
Well, because I was already asked the
You
question.
was already asked the question.
You know, and it's all you got to do is ask questions. You know, and that's where we're at in this point in day and age. And I feel like if you don't ask questions, then you're just going to be left behind. How do you know if you don't know if you're not out searching for everything? You know. But I think we can wrap it up there. I think this was a great conversation, bro. We'll hit it back later this week and talk about how fun we had on 4th of July. We'll be out filming stuff, meeting the people, and Yes, thanks for joining us. If you like, share, comment below. I know we're still getting into the groove of stuff and getting back at it, but I appreciate you guys staying in and tuning in and watching us at Alaska Rants. Catch you next time.